record producer is playing the contents of CDs consisting of a sequence of exactly 5 instrumental pieces. R, S, T, V, W. To create and sustain certain words, the sequence of pieces will satisfy the following constraints. S must be earlier than V. So from there we're going to put S before V. And then from there, I'm just going to go make sure it's 5 pieces. So just put the number 5. Next condition is going to be T must be either earlier than both R and S. So we're going to see T before must be earlier than R and S. So let me just go ahead and put this variables in here real quickly. R. And then we're going to put S. Or later than R and S. So T must be earlier than R and S, or it could be later than R and S. So the way I would represent this, just go back to the diagram if I could just see the dot. I'm going to go ahead and put another item here. Then I'm going to put R here. Ugh, sorry about the R. So now I have T before R and S, or T after R and S. The next condition is going to be W must be either earlier than both R and T. So now we're communicating about W. So W, I will put W right here. And the condition is going to state that W must be either before R and T or later than R and T. So with that information, I'm just going to go ahead and draw it in there again, just the same way I did. So if I could visually just put the diagonal angles here. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the R. And the other letter is going to be T. See if I can be quick about T. So now I have W, and it must be earlier than R and T, or it must be after R and T. And with these 3 conditions right here, I have separated with the lines in between. So we're going to have 3 conditions. One, the 5 pieces could appear in which one of the following sequences on the CD in order from first to last. So S has to be before V, so go ahead and look for that real quickly. And if you can see that the numero or letter D has B before it, so go ahead and remove it. T has to be before or after R and S. We see that it's in between, so go ahead and remove it on choice A. Okay, so far we see that's in between, so go ahead and move it in choice E. So now at least with B and C. W has to be after R and T. So we see it's at the end, that's okay. We see W is between, so let's go ahead and remove it. Process elimination leads us to choice B. So go ahead and choose B. With that being said, you want to go ahead and use that correct piece game board to go ahead and fill in the right information. And now we have it right now where it's going to be in a position where if we want to, we could refer back to this world right now. And in this world, this is going to be what we consider a proper answer. And by proper, I mean sufficient, because this information is considered accurate. So we can go ahead and use this piece right here. And this is going to be number 1 right now. Let me go ahead and remove this last one. Number 2, if S is in the 4th piece on the CD, then which one of the following must be true? So this is going to be the 4th piece right here. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put a letter S, and I'm going to draw it in. So in this game board, you're going to see that the letter S is going to be on the 4th set. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it meets the conditioning rules. And I know S has to be before B, so no matter what, B is going to be after it. Now, our S have to be what you consider before or after T. So we already see R here, so let's go ahead. I mean S, so let's go ahead and put R. I'm going to have T. And then I'm going to put W. Now, with this world that I created, it meets the standards of all conditions. And with this rule also, you're going to able to do what considered is a coin flip, where the R and S is after T, so that's going to be okay, and R and T after W. So this is kind of actually solid right now, so you're not going to be able to do anything else. So in this world, this is going to be it. So this is going to be kind of like a must be true, because there's no other way out of it. It's kind of isolated. R is earlier on the CD than W, so we don't see that. So go ahead and remove it. If you can see, to make it quicker, is earlier, is earlier, is earlier, is earlier is all the choices. So S before T, don't see it, remove it. T before R, do see it, pick it. Just in case, I'm just going to keep on going, just make sure these answers are false. V earlier than W, don't see it. W is earlier than T. So both of these answers are we consider in play, where T is before R and W is before T. W has to be before R and T has to be before R and S. So does W is earlier than T? Is T earlier than R? Just to double check real quickly, if I could, let me see if I can make this one work out with the both of these answers work out. Let me see if I could just change this information right here about W. I mean about the T and R. So now I created another world where it's WRT. Now I create a second world where it's kind of rearranged, but it still meets the conditions. And the reason why I created the second world is because I had 2 options here that met both of these conditions. And instead of just choosing the first one, I wanted to make sure. So it says T is earlier than R. So if you look, T is earlier than R on both worlds. And the second one, this choice says W is earlier than T. If you look at the second world, T is actually earlier than W. So this one is true in both worlds, so it must be true. So go ahead and choose C. And the answer is C. T is earlier on the CD than R. Question 3. If R is in the first piece on the CD, then which one of the following could be true? So let me go ahead and use world 2. And I'm going to do what I consider a coin flip. And what a coin flip is, it's going to be where you just flip the letters to another letter that's above it. So just like that, just did a coin flip for those two. W, S, V. And this world that I just created, where it's RTWSV, you will see that it meets the condition. Let's see if this is okay right now. Just this world. T is in the second. We see that to be true. V is in the third. We don't see that. W is in the third. We do see that. S is in the fourth. We see that as well. T is the last piece. We don't see that. So I have A, C, and D where it works out. Let me just make sure that I'm going to go ahead and do another world just to make sure that it meets the condition where R is going to be first. So we're going to put R here. And what I want to see if I can go ahead and do a flip that I can see where I can flip the variable. So R and T have to be S and V. So what I can do here, I could put the letter S in second place. Now I'm gonna put T on a side that this place right here, and then I'm gonna make sure that the W is on the outside of R and S, and I'm gonna put the letter V here just because V has to be after S or S before V. So now I created two worlds where R is in the first spot in number 3, and in both of these worlds created, they meet the conditions. So let's go ahead and see the last process elimination for the 3 A, C, D. So T is in second. We don't see that anymore in the second world. W is third. We don't see that. And S is fourth. We don't see that anymore. So I created 3 worlds right now. And let me see just all 3 of them just real quick to see if I can meet the standards. S before V meets. RS has to be before FT. We see that T's in the middle. So I'm just going to cross out this world that I created because it's no good. So RS that we see. RT before or after W. So these 2 worlds that I created, it does work out. So let's see. Right now, I see that S is in the second spot. So let me see if S is number 4. So S, they're saying no. So let me go ahead and see if I can see if it's true or not. I'm just going to select it. T is in second. No. B is in third. That could be true. I do see it. W is in third. No. S is in fourth. No. T is the last place. No. So one thing I see is V is in we said third position. So answer B. V is in the third piece on the CD. Hopefully that's helpful. If you see a mistake or an error where it's none of the choices available, that you create another world and then apply the condition to all of the worlds instead of just doing one at a time. That way you can just cross off and move on quickly as possible to the answer choices. So for this question, I'm going to read it. If T is the second piece on the CD, then which of the following could be true? So here I have T as the second piece. And for those of you guys who see, I'm going to go ahead and circle it. And you see how T is in the second set. So I'm going to show you guys what a kind of a switch is here. Where you can do something in this manner. Where if you switch R and V, the conditions will still be the same and the game will still be true. So in this world, we can do a switch with R and V. And this is kind of like the symbol for switching it. For this world, we're not going to do a switch because S has to be before V, because if you look at the condition, it has to be. So let's go ahead and see if we can answer this question with these world that we created for question number 4. S is the first piece in the CD. You can see it's W for number 4. And for those of you guys can't see it, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to write down 4, and you see that W is first, so we're going to eliminate. R is the first piece. You see it's not. Actually, S is the first piece. See, it's not. R is the first piece. See, it's not. V is the third piece. You see, it's not. W is the fourth piece. You see, it's not. R is the last piece. You see, it's not. See the switch here? What that switch means? That it could be RV or it could be VR, and it will still mean the same. So go ahead and choose E because it is possible with the switch. And that switch there saves you some time to do in another world. So hopefully that makes you a bit quicker on the logic game by knowing the switch symbol, right? Question 5. I don't recommend doing it like this. The first and second piece on the CD is listed in order could be. So this is for question 5. I wrote down the choices A, B, C, D, E. So right now we know that S is going to be before V. So R, the first choice, is not going to work because if V is in second, then S is going to go after, which is against the first condition. So go ahead and eliminate that. And as you eliminate it, just go ahead and move out the game board just to make sure that we don't interfere with it. So right now it's saying R, W. We already know that W cannot be in between R and T. So go ahead and eliminate choice 2, which is B. And while you're doing that, you're going to go ahead and move on. S and T. Right now we know that T cannot be in between S, R. So just go ahead and eliminate that. And as you eliminate, just make sure that the board and the answer choice matches. T and W. So what I was told, that W cannot be in between T and R. So go ahead and eliminate that. And as you can tell, process of elimination brought us to one choice. And if you're looking for what you would consider a interdisciplinary approach where you use 2 methods instead of just relying on one method to get the correct answer, notice how it goes WS. So far so good. Nothing's violated, everything's in order. So there's your interdisciplinary 2 methods, process of elimination, and also using RR, the rules and regulation. With the rules and regulations, it's going to be on the right hand side, and it's kind of like the information that it has to obey by. So I'm going to go ahead and write down the RR, which is kind of considered rules, regulations, which kind of is the conditions that governs the information. So the 2 methods would be process of elimination and RR. And for the process of elimination, you might hear it as P, O, and the last letter is going to be E. P for process, O for of, E for elimination, and I use RR for rules and regulation, which is the conditions. Answer for this question is going to be E, W, and S. The 2 methods we use to get this one is going to be considered process of elimination and the rules and regulation. Make sure that the last answers match, obeys with these conditions, or these conditions is okay for this information to be correct. For question 6, if V is in the second plate, he's in the city, which of the following could be true? So I want to go put V in second position here, and I bolded it for number 6. So all we have to do is just simply fill it out. We already know that S has to be before V, so that kind of minimizes the information right now. So now we only have 3 letters left. So we kind of narrow it down 3 out of 5. So let's make sure everything else meets the standards, where R has to be before. So we're going to put R here, and I'm also going to put R here just for right now. Now I'm going to put T here, and then I'm going to put W in this world. Now for this world, it worked out, RTW, just to make sure that I'm going to go ahead and just fill it in, W. And now I'm going to make sure that it works out here as well, where the W is going to be between the V and R. And then I'm going to put T here. And according to the conditions, these 2 worlds that I created right now do meet the standards of being able to answer this question. So with these 2 worlds, I want to go ahead and put V in the second piece. Now let me answer these questions, which could be true. W is the first C, no. We see the letter S. S is in the third, no. T is in the third, no. R is the fourth. We see that. R is the last piece. We don't see that. The only thing we see is that R is in the fourth. So go ahead and choose that answer. Answer D. R is in the fourth piece on the CD. Question 7. If W is the first piece on the CD, then which of the following cannot be true? So I'm going to look for another world or a previous world where I see W is in the first piece. And I see it right here. So let's go to use number 4 as the world. So if I see it, I see it. T is third. No. V is third. No. S is fourth. I do see that. And this question is going to be cannot be true. So I do see that in this world S could be fourth. So that is, it could be true. V is in third. However, I don't see T is in third place though. That I do not see right off the bat. So it says cannot be true. So for W in the first piece, T is going to have to be in the second piece for both worlds. So with T being in second place for both worlds, that means that's not going to be allowed in choice in slot 3. So go ahead and choose spot 3 and go ahead and choose that answer. And it's going to be answer, it's going to be A. T is in the third piece. So that's going to be it for the logic game, first one for Prep Test 73. Let's see how well we did. For the first game, we were able to get all 7 questions correct. Quick review. We got the first question correct with answering using the conditions, and we were able to come up with the first one. And then we saved that world. We went on to question 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that last question we were able to use the previous world in 4 to answer it. So hopefully that one helped out. If this logic game helped you out, please subscribe so I continue making more.